Yo, 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 this 60 East representing the West Coast. Right here rocking out with my people at UndergroundHipHopBlog.com. Your number one spot for the realest shit in the game. What's good, man? You know, man, you gotta stay grinding in this business. Nothing is guaranteed, man. And if you're not up early, dude, whoever up is gonna get that opportunity. And this is not a business where you can take breaks. You can't disappear for a year or two and try and come back, because momentum is one of the hardest things to build up and to ever get back. So, I mean, consistency is everything. I mean, it's tough in the States, and then especially in a city like LA. We're the second biggest city in the country. So people from all over the world are coming to LA trying to break into this market. And in a sense, it creates a market of a bunch of artists. So a lot of the time you go to a lot of these showcases, and a lot of the people in the room are artists or producers or DJs or actors or whatever, and they're trying to build their own fan base. So a lot of the time they're not trying to be a fan. So going to these other markets and finding people that are actually fans and not creators, it really opened my eyes that I needed to get out of LA. They fiend for hip hop, and it took me going out there to see how people overseas look at American hip hop. And you know, hip hop started in New York, started in America, so we're seen as the originators. So when we go out there, you know, we see the American hip hop influence in Europe, and now, you know, Europe kind of came into its own, and now they have their own brand of hip hop. It's not just kind of copying what we're doing over here. Now they have their own scene, they have their own artists, and they have their own type and their own, you know, smaller niches of hip hop, like grime in the UK. So I mean, it's just dope to see. The name 60 East, I came up with that by myself. You know, coming up, I always had names given to me. I was always like the little homie, so people were always like, "Oh, that's young, whatever. That's little, this and that." And then when I finally decided to be my own artist and build my own brand up, I wanted to pick a name that represented where I'm from, which is the Inland Empire. And anybody that lives in Southern California knows the 60 East is the freeway you take to get that way. And I grew up doing a lot of graffiti, so at a point in time, you know, people on Friday nights would go to parties, but me and my homies would be on the 60 freeway, tagging on the center dividers and all stuff like that. So I felt it really represented where I come from and the type of person that I am. And I wrote my first song. I was probably at my house. Hip hop was always in my house since the day that my cousin rolled up one day and started doing windmills. Ever since then, you know, hip hop never left my house. And my brother was a DJ. To this day, he's still a DJ producer. And, you know, I started writing. I would listen to him produce, and I was writing as early as third, fourth grade. I mean, being in the scene, not only in LA, but, you know, around the country, you know, you run into a lot of people and a lot of outlets. And just being on the grind, man, I came across, you know, Underground Hip Hop Blog. And, you know, I had made it a goal at one point in my career. Like, yo, I see the people they're posting on their site. Like, I want to be a dude they post on their site. Like, that was like a milestone for me. So, like, the day I actually released something and it got posted, I felt accomplished. I was like, yeah, man, these dudes, like, they have a big audience. They're real to the kind of music that I make. So, you know, the day that I got on, it was like a huge milestone for me. Just as it is like when you get on any other blog or a big website or whatever like that. And yeah, I mean, just came across you guys on the grind. In 5 years, I see myself being able to live 100% off my music. I see myself touring the country. I see myself, not only this country, many countries. I see myself performing on all the big festivals, getting music placements. I wanted my song to be playing in the next Avengers movie in the background, you know what I mean? I see myself working with people I've always wanted to work with, from producers to artists to singers, songwriters. And yeah, I see myself having a fan base that I can sustain a career off of. Music-wise, I've been able to collaborate with a lot of my OGs. One of my OGs that I really am proud of is a guy named Sly Boogie, because I feel he's very underrated. You know, I first came across this dude on the Wake Up Show back when the Wake Up Show was cracking. I heard Sway and Tech. I heard this dude representing where I'm from, the Inland Empire, and I was like, who is this? This dude is fucking dope, you know? So, and it had always been a goal of mine to work with dude, and it was kind of like, once I got approval from him, he's kind of like the biggest name to come out of where I'm from. So once I got his approval, it was like, okay, now I'm on in my scene. And it was crazy when it went down, because when we got the feature from him and I reached out to work with him, he was fighting a case, and we ended up filming we did the song, we shot a music video, and he ended up getting locked up. And he's still locked up to this day, and the video ended up getting pushed back, and we weren't able to release it. And we ended up throwing Blue on the song before we released it again. So we were able to release the video with Blue, but without Sly Boogie because the footage had been outdated. But even then, like, I had got a letter from Sly Boogie from jail, and he had told me, like, yo, congratulations on everything you're doing. The song came out dope. You know, I was able to still keep a line of communication with him via his wife. You know, me and his wife are friends on Facebook. She keeps me updated on how he's doing. And prior to him getting locked up, he had told me one thing that really stuck with me, and he told me the world is yours. When I had told him, like, thank you for blessing me and being on this record with me, he tweeted me, he was like, yo, 60, the world is yours, like. And that, to me, honestly felt like him passing me the keys of, like, he's like, you know what, like, you do your thing now. You got my approval, and, you know, that's the green light to go. So that was one collaboration that really hit home for me. Like I said, I had Blue on the record. Also, Blue is a dude that I'm highly influenced by. He's one of the cats somewhat in my age bracket coming up in LA that I feel a lot of people are influenced by and a lot of people should recognize. So being able to work with him was a blessing. Again, he's a super cool dude. I got to shoot the video with him, got his approval also, and, you know, me and him have been in communication ever since. I was listening to a lot of Sky Zoo the past maybe 2 years ago, and the opportunity came up to work with him. You know, he was actually in LA staying at Tyrese's crib. Tyrese from you know, the Fast and the Furious, and he had a studio. You know, I had a connection with him, and, you know, we were able to do a collab. And then earlier this year, I was touring in the East Coast with R.A. the Rugged Man, and I had to stop in New York, so I hit up Sky, and I was like, yo, are you down to do the video? And he was like, man, come through, you know? So we went to Brooklyn, we shot the video, we actually just released the video, and that was also a blessing, man. Yeah, you know, one of my producers from Boston actually just moved to the West Coast, and he was crashing on my couch for the past 8 months, and we were able to record music almost every day. So we knocked out maybe about 30 songs, and we broke that down to about 2 projects, and we scrapped a bunch of songs. But I'm going to be releasing one of those projects, which is going to be the follow-up to my Freeway series. This is going to be the Volume 2, produced in its entirety by Feel the Pain. That's going to be around January, February, around my European tour. And I'm going to be dropping Part 3 right around the summer. To me, it's being real. It's being true to yourself. Like, I hear a lot of people bashing artists from, like, the South and the trap music and stuff like that. But, I mean, to me, as long as you're being real to what you know, to yourself, to how you really came up, you're not lying, you're not conforming to just impress people or the industry, that's real to me. And, I mean, that's underground to me. I don't technically like the term underground. I prefer independent. But, yeah, that's my definition of real hip-hop. Yeah, you know, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, 60East909. My Instagram's at 60East. Make sure to hit the website, sixtyeast.net. I keep it updated all the time. You know, I'm constantly blogging about where I'm traveling, where I'm touring, and stuff like that. And check out all the content. Hit my email list. I like to keep people updated. I'll hit you personally. You know, just message me back. I'll send you a message, and we can chop it up.